Hello everyone. So recently you must have heard about the Toktai cyclone which has hit and caused destruction on the West Indian coast along the states of Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra and Gujarat. This event has brought again the focus on the rising intensity and frequency of the cyclones in the Arabian Sea rather than Bay of Bengal Ocean. I welcome you all. I am Gaurav Tripathi and I am here to discuss in brief that why the cyclones are rising in the Arabian Sea rather than Bay of Bengal. So let's begin. First of all, we will understand that what exactly the cyclones are. So cyclones, sorry. So cyclones are basically the low pressure system, the rotating column of the air, which under the influence of Coriolis force turn their direction in the anti-clockwise motion in northern hemisphere. This is the basic structure of the tropical cyclones. So here we can see that in the center portion there is an eye, which is the calm and the composed area. This eye, from this eye, the peripheral area from this eye, the wind rises up. The wind is warmer and lighter, therefore it rises along the periphery and it makes a circular column-like structure known as the eye wall. This is the wind outflow axis. Along this, the wind flows in the outward direction. This is the rain bands from which the torrential rain occurs. The torrential rains are the high intensity rainfall caused due to convectional thermal currents. What are the convectional thermal currents? Let us discuss it in brief. Suppose this is the sea surface temperature. In the tropical areas between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer, due to intense solar heating, the sea surface gets warmed up. This warm air rises up, taking the moisture up in the atmosphere. This is known as convection. And the vertical movement of wind is known as thermal currents. Because why thermal? Because it is because of the temperature differences over the sea surface area. So these are the thermal convection currents. These tropical cyclones are therefore the thermal cyclones. So let us move further. So now we will compare the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal area. Why we say that traditionally the Bay of Bengal area has been affected by tropical cyclones more compared to the Arabian Sea. The ratio which the scientists have discovered, which they have told, is 1:4. So if there is one cyclone in the Arabian Sea in 1 year, consequently there are 4 cyclones in the Bay of Bengal area in that very year. So what is the reason behind this difference? The first and the major reason is that the average temperature of the Bay of Bengal area is higher than the Arabian Sea. The scientists or the geographers and the oceanographers call this BOB area as the warm pool region. Why warm pool region? Because of the greater than average temperature compared to the Arabian Sea in the Bay of Bengal area. The second important point is the abundant water which the east flowing rivers from the Indian landmass bring towards the Bay of Bengal area. We know that from here we have Ganga, from here we have mighty Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and several small rivers also there. So this bring a lot of amount of water in the Bay of Bengal area. This water, the warming of this water at the surface and the consequent rise up of the moisture provides the required energy and heat to the cyclones in the Bay of Bengal area, which is not there in the Arabian Sea. Next important point is the thermal stratification. What is the thermal stratification? Suppose this is a vertical cross section of the ocean. This is the surface area, and this is the surface area, and this is the deep water. Okay, so what happens is that the surface is heated very much compared to this deeper water, because the solar insolation, the penetration of the solar light is restricted up to around 500 meters of depth. So beyond this, the light does not penetrate, and this develops a steep thermal gradient. This thermal gradient creates a temperature difference in the above layers and the deeper layers, which do not allow the free intermixing of the water from the surface and the deeper surface areas. This is known as the development of steep thermal gradient between upper and lower layers, known as thermal stratification. If the water is not mixed up, the surface water consequently warms up further and reversing the loop of the cyclone formation. Next important point is the shape of the land around the Bay of Bengal is such that it weakens the wind speed. How? Let us see again. Suppose this is the India. This is Myanmar and the Southeast Asian region. This area is enclosed from the landmass from three sides. That is why it is known as bay. So what this leads to, this weakens the wind direction in this area. Whatever the direction its wind is having, it weakens its speed. Sorry, not the direction, it weakens its speed, and this weakening of speed forces the wind to spin faster. Forming the rotating column of the air in the Bay of Bengal area. And the last important point is the offshoots from the Pacific Ocean. Suppose if we again draw the diagram, a small diagram. This is the Australian region, this is the Pacific area, and this is the Indian Ocean region. So in the Pacific area, because of presence of huge amount of water, the tropical cyclones develop. Under the influence of trade winds, also known as easterlies, the tropical cyclone in the Pacific Ocean move towards this direction. Their offshoots passes through these narrow passages from the Southeast Asia, and once they reach the Bay of Bengal region, they further intensify again and hit the Indian East Coast. So these are the major reasons why the Bay of Bengal area have been more prone to tropical cyclones compared to the Arabian Sea. Now, but what is happening in the recent past, we are witnessing that the Arabian Sea is changing its nature. The historical data suggests that between 1891 to 2000, the tropical cyclones hitting the West Indian coast were 48, out of which 24 were from severe category. And the East Indian coast was hit by 308 cyclones, out of which 103 were from the severe category. What are these categories? We will discuss in the next slides. But see the difference. The vulnerability of the West Indian coast was very much lower than the East Indian coast. But since past few decades, the scientists are witnessing that the number and the intensity of the storms over the Arabian Sea are changing and rising. In 2018, where Bay of Bengal maintained 4 cyclones per year average, Arabian Sea experiences 3 cyclones per year instead of 1. Earlier, it was experiencing 1 cyclone per year, but Arabian Sea in 2018 experienced 3 cyclones, which in the next year, 2019, rose up to 5. Between 2014 to 2019, there has been a rise of 32% in the number of cyclones in the Indian Ocean. So what exactly we are discussing here is, compared to the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean, the vulnerability of the Indian Ocean is becoming higher for the tropical cyclones. The countries bordering the Indian Ocean region must be prepared for them. The major reason for this is the configuration of the Indian Ocean. You have to be very clear about it. Compared to Atlantic and Pacific, Indian Ocean has been bordered by the landmass, which in turn leads to more heating of the Indian Ocean. Okay. So why the what is the major reason that scientists have discovered is responsible for the rise of intensity of cyclones in the Arabian Sea? They have said that the global warming and the climate change is the major culprit. The industrial emissions, chlorofluorocarbon, greenhouse gases, the vehicular traffic, which we are responsible for it, all these gases, greenhouse gases, are changing the climate. it is causing global warming. According to 2014 study, the overall rise of temperature of the Indian Ocean was by 0.7 degrees Celsius, but you have to notice that the West Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea area, it rose by 1.2 degrees Celsius. Earlier, we discussed that the scientists used to call the Bay of Bengal region as the warm pool region, but now they have started calling Arabian Sea as also a warm pool region. See, you have to understand that out of the total accumulated heat or energy, oceans are responsible for storing 93% of the total heat. Air, land, and ice together store just 7%. So whatever the heat is present in the atmosphere, whatever heat is rising, whatever heat budget is changing, oceans share 93% of its burden. That's very huge. So the Toktai cyclone, which was recently in news, we can discuss certain features about the Toktai cyclone. The Toktai cyclone originated in the Arabian Sea. Its initial direction was towards the eastward, but ultimately it headed towards the northward along the Indian coast, passing through the coastal areas of Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra, and ultimately hitting the Gujarat. Since last years, there has been a rise of cyclone in the Arabian Sea. You must have heard about Vayu, Maha, and several other cyclones in the Arabian Sea. So this Toktai, this naming has been done by the Myanmar. The Toktai is pronounced as Totai, and in Burmese language, it means gecko, highly vocal lizard. IMD, first Indian Meteorological Department, first observed this cyclone on the 13th May. It is the 5th strongest ever recorded cyclone in the Arabian Sea, and IMD has classified it in the category of extremely severe cyclonic storm. Now, what is this extremely severe cyclonic storm? Let us see. IMD classifies these cyclones on the basis of wind speeds in basically these 7 categories. Okay, so the Toktai cyclones lies in this category, which is the extremely severe cyclonic storm. The characteristic is that minimum 3 minutes sustained winds for 3-minute average is between 166 to 220 kilometers per hour. This wind is very much destructive, 166 to 220 kilometers per hour. And above this, there is only one category, that is a super cyclonic storm, whose wind speed is greater than 221 kilometers per hour. So these are the 7 categories: depression, deep depression, cyclonic storm, severe cyclonic storm, very severe cyclonic storm, extremely severe cyclonic storm, and super cyclonic storm. So this is the classification done by IMD. So now, what you people have to do is that you have to prepare the cyclones from the NCERT. The linked topics with this topic are like, first, what is the difference between the tropical and the temperate cyclones? What are frontal cyclones? What are the guidelines issued by NDMA to cope up with the cyclonic disasters for India? Because this topic is intermixing of various topics from the GS paper 1 geography, GS paper 3 disasters, and yes. So what you need to do is that you prepare these topics and go for it. Okay, thank you and have a good day.